Hello players, welcome to another beautiful game that was played between Efim and Yuri Averbakh. This game was played in Ukraine in 1954. Efim was an Ukrainian grandmaster whereas Yuri Averbakh was from Russia. This game has one of the greatest endings in the entire history of chess, so I suggest you to watch the video until the end without skipping. In this game, Efim used the white pieces and Yuri Averbakh used the black pieces. The game starts with e4 followed by c5. This is Sicilian defense. Then knight f3 and knight c6, d3, g6 and g3 and bishop g7. This is king's Indian attack. Then bishop g2 and d6. Now white castles in his king side, followed by knight f6 and knight bd2. Now black also castles. Then a4, bishop d7, knight c4, d5, e cross d5, knight cross d5. Then rook e1, queen c7, then knight g5. This knight is under attack now, so knight b6. Then knight e3 and a5. Next h4 and h6. This knight is under attack now, so knight e4. Now this pawn is under attack, so black moves his knight to d4 so that the king protects this pawn. Then h5 trying to break this pawn structure. Black doesn't want to ruin his structure, so he plays g5. Now c3 threatening this knight, so knight f5. Finally the white queen makes her first move, queen b3, then knight d6 and knight d5. Now there is a threat for the black's queen, so knight cross knight and queen cross knight. Now again knight cross knight and queen cross knight. Now this b7 pawn is under attack by this queen and the bishop, so black brings one more protection, rook a b8. Don't think the e7 pawn is free to capture. If he did, then the queen would be trapped. The queen doesn't have any way to escape. Even if there was any, the rook is behind, the rook will be gone. So white did not capture this pawn. Instead, he played queen d5. So white plans to capture this pawn with this rook now. That's the reason behind this move. So black now plays e6, saving the pawn as well as threatening the queen. Then queen a2, bishop c6, then queen c4, bishop cross bishop and king cross bishop. Now queen c6 comes with a check and queen e4, then rook f d8 and bishop e3, then rook d5 and rook a d1, then rook b d8. Black has successfully doubled his rooks in the d file now. Then king f1 and c4, d4, queen cross a4 and g4. Then queen d7, rook a1. Now a4, rook e2, then b5 and rook a e1. Now the game becomes very interesting. Black plays b4 trying to break this pawn structure. White plays f4, g cross f4 and bishop cross f4. Then a3, rook g2. White did not worry about the black's pawn promotion. He thought it was very safe as there were two rooks protecting these squares. He was silently planning an attack on the black's king. Now queen e7 and queen e3, queen f6 and king g1. White didn't want his bishop to be pinned at any point, and that's the reason he moved the king to g1. Now finally a cross b2. Black is about to promote a pawn, but white underestimates this position. He still thought the position was very safe as the rook was protecting the square. He should have captured this pawn immediately with this rook, but in the game he did not capture, and that's where the problem started. He was busy in planning an attack on the king side. He played g5. Now h cross g5 and bishop e5. There is an attack on the queen now. Now black sacrifices his rook, rook cross d5 and d cross e5. Now queen cross e5 and queen cross e5 and bishop cross e5. Both the queens had been exchanged. Now rook cross g5, that comes with a check, and there is an attack on the bishop. White really thought he was going to win the game very easily. He still underestimated these pawns. He strongly believed this rook will take care of them. Now the black's king is under check. There is no point in blocking it with this bishop. Then h6 will again trap the bishop. So black did not try to block it with this bishop. He played king h7. Then rook g cross e5. Now black captures this pawn b cross c3. White played rook b5 because even if black tries to promote this pawn, then white rook can capture this pawn. So he thought it was very safe to play rook b5. And white really had very high hopes on winning the game, but now black played a very brilliant move. According to me, this move should be considered as one of the top 5 brilliant moves in the whole history of chess. After the move, white resigned the game immediately. If you are a chess puzzle lover, I recommend you to pause the video for a couple of minutes and try to identify the winning move for black. Congratulations to those who found the correct move. Definitely you must be a grandmaster. The winning move was rook d1. It's a pure whole rook sacrifice with no compensation for that piece. At this point, Efim Geller, who was playing white pieces, resigned the game. The reason was if you captured the rook, then pawn c2, white has to move the rook. Now black would be able to promote a queen, then rook cross queen, pawn cross rook. It will be a queen now. If white did not capture this rook and place something like this, then rook cross rook, king cross rook, pawn c2. There is no point in capturing this pawn. This pawn could be promoted. Even if the king comes to d2, he could promote this pawn easily. The promotion comes with the check. The king cannot capture this queen due to this pawn. So there is literally no way to prevent this pawn promotion. That's the reason white resigned the game. I will just quickly replay the ending once again. It's really not an easy task to calculate such positions very precisely, and that too against an opponent like Efim Geller. He was one of the most strongest players at that period of time. I truly believe you all enjoyed this game. If you did, please hit the like button. If you are watching my videos for the first time, I recommend you to subscribe to my channel right now for more interesting vintage chess games like this. Let's meet in another battle. Thank you.